Westshore. So they're asking here if you know someone currently living in an emergency shelter, transitional housing, hotel, motel, or other temporary form of housing, if you know someone who's currently experiencing homelessness, living without shelter and sleeping outdoors, they're interested in speaking with those folks. Participants will be asked basic demographic questions about their experience with homelessness. Access to services will not be affected whether you participate in the study or not. All participants will receive financial compensation. If you know of someone who can participate and they are in the Westshore area, please visit the Goldstream Food Bank on Station Road on February the 10th between noon and 4 p.m. The other one is starting next week, but we're not in council meetings that week. It is Heritage BC Week from the 15th to the 22nd. So think that our communications person has a few things up her sleeve for acknowledging that. So just making point of that. We'll put the poster up somewhere out the front way. Anybody else from council with anything?
Just a reminder. Jeez.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yes.
I'll talk like this way back here now. Look, it still picks it up. Wow.
They work
my voice is...
You're electric.
Yeah. That Royal Bay has their dance recital this Thursday, Friday at the theater. So if people want to attend.
Great, thank you.
Enough out of you.
Yeah.
Move it way back. Okay, and moving on from there, looking for adoption of our regular meeting of council January 25th minutes.
Move adoption, Your Worship.
All those in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. Receipt for a number of minutes. Colwood Cycling, January 4th. Parks, Recreation and Culture on December 22nd. Planning and Land Use, January 19th. And Special Transportation and Public Infrastructure on December 2nd.
Move receipt. Second.
All those in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. Correspondence requiring council direction. We did and are in receipt of a letter from BCLC. Oh, jumped right over there. Sorry, folks. We will back up. Mr. Miller, are you here? We have a presentation, folks, from the Skatepark Coalition on relocating the skate park to the Westshore.
Skate Park. I've had my hands in the Sydney Skate Park and also in the programming and development of the Sooke Skate Park. So rest assured my passion is strong and there's longevity to it. I'm not going anywhere and my cohorts are not going anywhere either. We feel as though skateboarding and skate park use has sadly taken a turn in the Westshore for the worse, and we want to stand up and advocate for a spot to use our skateboards and our BMXs and our inline skates and the various other disciplines that a skate park embodies. I'm going to push you through. Looking at the skate park that was beside West Mall, opening day was spring 2003. Construction was done by Spectrum Skate Parks, which is a local British Columbia company. I know the fellow that runs it. There was a strong push by the user group to get this skate park built, and that's also one of the reasons why it hurt so much when it was removed. There's a lot of users that actually had shovel in hand and helped create this park, so having it taken away, although there was extensions to its livelihood, it was rumored that the bulldozers were going to come. There were signs, and it was done in a day. It was done in a day and a half, and there's a lot of people that were showing up hoping to use it, and it just simply wasn't there anymore. It was a complicated, how can I say it, user agreement. I'm going to backtrack for a second. The way the skate park was built, it was built on land leased from the school district, so it was never a clear-cut deal that the skate park would be there for a long period of time. And people in the background knew of such, but as time goes forward, those little details get lost. And for anybody that started skateboarding or BMXing within the last 3 years, 2 years, they wouldn't have known the details as such. Nice crispy photo in the top left, skate park pretty much upon creation, and then you can see that it certainly got used as time went forward. Catching more up to snuff, what I was talking about, where the skate park got turfed, it was in the newspapers. People were well aware that it was happening if you were of the adult world, but if you're a young kid going there, it wouldn't be something they were necessarily privy to. The creation of the coalition took place around this time. It was October of last year, and we've picked up momentum because of what has happened. If you drive by, I'm sure you have, you'll notice that it's a big dirt pit as of right now. A little bit about this. I'll read it aloud for the records. The Westshore Skate Park Coalition is dedicated to the creation and continued support of new Westshore-based skate parks. By creating strong partnerships and embodying leadership, our coalition fosters and supports the growth of skate park use in the West Shore. Culturally, skate parks are now commonplace around the globe. This recreational amenity supports users that are both young and old. These groups are gender neutral, ethnically diverse, and socio-economically varied. When adequately facilitated for, said users are able to safely recreate and develop their skill through physical and mental determination and also camaraderie. This is a display of what we've done in the group since October. We've outlined our objectives and made it a little bit more tangible for the younger user group as well as the adult user group. And I say adult user group because it's not uncommon for me to share the edge of a skate park with kids that are as young as 5 years old and people around my age, middle age, and then going forward to adults and even grandparents for that matter. Culturally, skate park use is, it's part of the norm now. It's not something that I didn't think that I would have to fight for, but I will still fight for. I've been saying to people, it's like I'm dusting off the 1990s version of Jimmy as far as, raising hell and trying to figure stuff out. And I'm willing to do that, but, I didn't think I'd have to fight the fight as much as I did, or do now, along with my cohorts. In December, just the start of December, to capitalize on some of those Christmas dollars, we held an event. It was downtown because of the venue that we could allocate in the tight time frame. But we had an auction, a silent auction for autographed skateboard items. And we raised about $2,000 for that. So coming from a coalition that maybe had about $150 to our name, and now we actually have a strong operating budget. This is a little bit of bragging, but it's more just to show that when we put our mind to something, we can accomplish it. And we feel as though that momentum is strong moving forward. We recently had a public outreach meeting where we spoke to the public and kept them posted on what our next stages are, and this is one of the stages, reaching out to the 5 municipalities. We've already presented to View Royal. We presented to, The Chosen, and also presented to. One of the questions that we put to the user groups is where they foresaw the best use of the skate park being amongst the 5 municipalities. And I hate to put a hot target on you guys, but Colwood was one of them. People feel as though there's a significant amount of youth in the area and a significant amount of houses popping up that it would make sense for a skateboard park to be in this zone. So this is where it comes to, why am I here? What are we asking for? Again, for records, I'll read it aloud. We're looking forward to finding a location for a skate park, potentially in your municipality. Looking forward to having staff and municipal involvement in planning and development of said skate park. And we're looking forward to working together in securing funds for a new skate park. Rome wasn't built in a day. We know that skate parks do cost money, but I'm going to show you a few photographs of the types of skate parks that can be built. Obviously, you can go big, you can go huge, but we're of the age where smaller satellite-style skate parks, or skate spots as they're known, could also appease the situation and take the pressure off of one centralized skate park. And you can build those for $50,000 to $75,000 as opposed to the larger projects that can get above $500,000. To the left, some of the larger ones, such as the Winnipeg Forks Plaza and the Calgary Millennium I'm a little more partial to the Winnipeg Forks Plaza because it's a little bit newer in development design. Back in the 90s, I made reference to the 1990s version of me. Skate parks were still in their infancy as far as like working out the kinks, figuring out what formulation, type of concrete to use and the angles to use. And now that the skate park companies have been around for over a decade, they actually are quite self-sufficient. Moving down to Victoria, lots of pride in that for me. Took 9 years of my life to get the add-on built there, but there's longevity in that, and the partnership with the city of Victoria there certainly helps. Nanaimo, slightly smaller. Mount Pleasant is something that I would consider sort of a satellite park in size at 3,000 square feet. There's people that live right across the street. There's playgrounds in close proximity. There's water fountains. There's washroom facilities. There's proper trash removal. There's things that can be done when it's within a city park that makes sense when choreographed appropriately. So I believe that's all I have to say in a prearranged manner, but I'd be happy to take any questions if you have. And Westshore Park to Rec at the library there. We've got 2 more to go. Portable ones, I don't necessarily think have the longevity. If somebody's willing to put a roof over it and make it a bit more of a permanent thing, I think that'd be very groundbreaking. But with that comes the cost of insurance liability, the power, the just the maintenance and the actual staffing of it. The mobile aspect of it makes sense, but skateboard ramps tend to get damaged when it's not a concrete surface. And if you wanted to reduce costs or look at it in that perspective and doing the concrete down to asphalt, you have some issues there as well. The longer lasting, better functioning skate parks are ones that are made of concrete.
I have 2 questions for you. The first is, what are your next steps? I know you're talking to all the councils, but after your councils, then what? Do you know yet?
Yeah, well, land acquisition is the main thing at this stage.
I'm sorry.
Land acquisition is
Right.
the main thing at this stage. And then I assume that we'd be going towards fundraising. Fundraising, whether done through events such as we've held or working in conjunction with the Rotary Club or Island Road Owners Association, various other outreach networks. There's ways we can do it. But I imagine that we'd be asking for grants and writing some of those papers.
And the second question leads into exactly what I'm talking about, or what I was thinking was regarding the land acquisition. Where are we at with identifying locations and that? Are we still just in that hoping that somebody will suggest something, or have you guys actually started identifying specific locations where it would actually make sense?
I'm going to take that as you being eager to receive suggestions, and I'm willing to look at that further. But it feels like putting the cart in front of the horse to start going for land. Right
Right.
now, the flight thing, we're aiming to be as polite as possible, in the capacity of introducing ourselves, showing that we're steadfast and earnest group, and we want to make sure this is correct.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
Thank you.
Now we can move to correspondence from BC Lottery Corporation.
Madam Mayor, this was put on the agenda to seek some council direction regards to the interest of the BC Lottery Corp to establish another casino in the area and the risk to casino revenues for the Westshore communities if another casino was located in the greater Victoria area.
what we've got the letter from the response letter from BC Lotteries, but the originating November 10th letter from District of Sooke is supportive of the stand that was taken with the open letter to the Times Colonist. So that's kind of the circle of things. So we could look to receive, we could write a letter similar to what Sooke has, or take no position whatsoever. So looking. Councillor Day?
Sorry, just a question. You're referring to a letter from Sooke, but the letter that I have on my agenda was from the Mayor of View Royal through the Times Colonist.
Yes, that's where it was sent out, and I can maybe indulge folks from the Sooke Council. At its November 9th, 2015 meeting, Council reviewed your letter. This is to BCLC, and letters have been published in the Times Colonist, which relate to the issue of additional casino sites in the Capital Regional District. Council understands that the BC Lottery Corporation is consulting with local governments in the proposed market area, being the east area of Greater Victoria, to determine interest in locating a new casino in that market area. We further appreciate that the public consultation with the interested communities will be conducted prior to any final decision being made. However, Council advises that they are in agreement with the mayors of the town of View Royal, City of Langford, and the City of Colwood that all Capital Regional District communities should be involved in the consultation process. We further agree that with the mayors that the Great Canadian Gaming Corporation should be permitted to proceed with their expansion project at this time. On behalf of Council, I wish to express our support for the request by other Westshore municipalities in their open letter of October the 11th, which was in the Times Colonist. Firstly, as to inclusive public consultation, and secondly, that the BC Lottery Corporation hold off any proposed expansion of gaming in the Capital Regional District for the next 5 years in order that the Great Canadian can proceed with their upgrades.
Thanks. I think that was, not having heard about the Sooke letter previously, when I was reading this, I thought that we should concur with the letter sent to the Times Colonist and the Mayor of View Royal with regard to holding off until the casino that we do have is on a better footing.
Such a recommendation, Councillor Day?
And I would so move.
Seconder, anyone?
Sure, second.
Any further conversation, discussion? Seeing none, call the question. All those in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. Item number 7 under new business, 7.1, Planning and Land Use Committee, 7.11, recommendation regarding development variance permit DVP 15-021-4396 Pelican Drive. Council, please be aware that you were provided a additional piece of information email at our tables in regards to this item.
Thank you, Worship. The applicant.
Yeah.
The applicant is requesting to vary section 10.2.7 of the land use bylaw number 151, increasing the maximum site coverage from 30% to 37.5% in order to permit the construction of a 49 square foot deck at the rear of the single family dwelling unit. The owner applicant of 396 Pelican Drive informed the members that the design will provide more usable space at the rear of the property. They also confirmed that they will be submitting their proposal to the development administrator for approval before applying for a building permit as required by the charge registered on title. It was interesting to note that had this lot been flat and had not had a steep slope, that this variance would not be required. It's the deck would simply be considered as a part of the landscaping. And the committee was sensitive to the covenants on the lots there. However, felt that we needed to make a recommendation based on the merits of this application. And it was recommended by committee, and I so move that the development variance permit, I'm going to just turn this off because this is that better? Yeah. No. That development variance permit number DVP 15-021 be authorized for issuance, which would have the effect of providing relaxation of the maximum site coverage pursuant to section 10.2.7 of the land use bylaw number 151 from 30% to 37.5% on the property described as lot 4, section 42, Esquimalt district, etc., etc.
A seconder, please.
Second.
Discussion? Councillor Day?
I just wanted to add that I'm very pleased to see the correspondence from the immediate neighbor that's on our desk. It says, after reviewing your plans for the addition of a back sun deck, rest assured that as your next door neighbors, we have no objections to your project. Please feel free to submit this email to City Hall as part of your application. So that was a concern that I had that evening, having not heard from those most immediate neighbors. So I'm pleased to see that.
Anyone else? Councillor Martin?
Thank you. Through you to either Gordy or Councillor Logan or staff, just because we have the issues occurring on up there, and I know there's the whole covenants issues thing, does this stay consistent with the covenant issues that we're dealing with the other issues that we're dealing with up there?
To the deputy.
Thank you. Because this is a building scheme, the city did not sign off on the agreement, so it has been the city's practice to not really, I guess, get involved with these type of issues. So the city, in part of their, I guess, reviewing of this matter, would not have to take into consideration a private building scheme or covenant on the title of the property.
Yes.
Yeah. So just as a follow-up to that, it was my understanding, and I'm now looking at our CAO, and he can correct me. It was my understanding that section, is it a Section 9 covenant, or what is it again? I can't remember what it was, but that we had actually found that it was registered to the city and not to the developer.
That's correct. The building schemes are normally registered in favor of the builder.
Yeah.
And in this particular case, at some point in time, it was transferred to the city. Is that correct?
Yeah, this is a different building scheme than the one on Seashell Place.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we do not have the same issues.
No.
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's all I want to confirm. Thank you.
Any further questions? Call the question. All those in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. Next item is 7.1.2, Development Variance Permit Application DVP 15020 for 3336 Ocean Boulevard.
Thank you, Worship. In this application, the applicant is requesting to vary section 5.6.06.2A of the land use bylaw, which is in effect reducing the minimum side yard setback from 3 meters to 1.6. And section 5.6.05.4 of the land use bylaw number 151, increasing the maximum floor area ratio from 0.4 to 0.43 in order to permit the construction of a 186 square meter addition to the existing single-family dwelling for the purpose of creating an expanded living area, a secondary suite, and a 3-bay attached garage. The owner applicant actually did a very good job in presenting materials in support of his application, which included a conceptual outline of the structure and how it impacted on his neighbors, which the committee felt was very informative. It was supported. The other interesting thing with this application too is that it actually removes a greenhouse that sits on the back of the house and abuts to their neighbor's fence. So that will be gone, creating more of a space between side yards, which was supported by his immediate neighbor. On both sides, there was only one bit of opposition from somebody just upstream. It was recommended by council, and our committee, and I so move the recommendation before us. I won't read the whole thing out.
Second.
Discussion, council? All those in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. Parks, Recreation and Culture, 7.2.1, recommendation in regards to the installation of a drinking fountain at Colwood waterfront.
Thank you. Through your worship, the Parks, Recreation, Culture Committee had a discussion regarding the installation of a drinking fountain at Colwood's waterfront. The waterfront is very busy and used by people all around the region. In turn, the city has received multiple requests from the public to install a drinking fountain. There are currently 2 fountains in Colwood, one located at Brittany Park and the other located at Whale Road. They're both very frequently used. The proposed fountain would accommodate children, adults, dogs, and also include a water bottle filling station. It would be made of heavy steel and installed on the wall of the existing washrooms. There is also a financial implication of $6,000. And I so move that it be recommended to council that a drinking fountain be installed at the washrooms on Colwood waterfront that would accommodate adults, children, dogs, and be equipped with a spout to fill reusable water containers in the amount of $6,000.
Second.
Any discussion, council? Councillor Nault and then Councillor Martin.
Yes, I think the intent was to refer this to budget. We haven't looked at the 2016 budget yet, so $6,000 more on the parks budget might be a sizable chunk. I would like to see us discuss this at budget time.
Can we check in with our finance director if there's anything that...
Certainly, Madam Mayor. We actually just had a discussion on this very topic today. We were having a preliminary budget meeting with the city engineer, and I can assure you this will be coming forward as part of a list of special projects for council's consideration in a couple of weeks.
Perfect.
Thank you. You note I supported this at committee, and I would like to see it done. I'm sure the fountain chosen is a very nice one for both children, adults, dogs, and anybody that wants to fill a water bottle. So as long as that pump station is still there, it'll be a real asset.
So we have Councillor Nault's motion to refer to budget discussions. Seconder on that?
Second.
Any further conversation in whatever in regards to that motion? Call the question. All those in favor? Opposed? Motion carries to budget. Thank you, Councillor Chong. And that's the only item for your committee. Finance and Administration, 7.3.1. Administrative Assistant. Report Annual General Meeting Convention, April 8th through 10th. I think this is the AVICC. Is this? Yep. Terry going to do it or Miss Mercy?
Madam Mayor, the AVICC, of course, is coming up, and normally council at this table decides who's going to attend the meeting this year, or every year, and so it's just up for council's consideration for this year.
Councillor Day.
Not that I necessarily have room in my time management schedule, but there is a resolution put forward from this council and also came through the Victoria Family Court and Youth Justice Committee, which I tried to find out how we were doing on earlier, and I know they have received at least our letter. They haven't told us how we're doing in the shuffle pile, but so I would like to participate in the convention again this year, simply to support that resolution.
So maybe I could kick this off, because in the past we've had 2 or 3 council members, maybe by show of hands, who might be available and interested in this particular opportunity. So I'm hearing from Councillor Day. Are there others at the table? Councillor Chung? Anybody else at this point? So are we okay with those two representatives from council going forward? We need to identify this so that staff can make those necessary reservations and whatever. So I need a recommendation then, Councillor Day.
Just wondered whether yourself was available to attend, or
I haven't even checked my time challenge.
perhaps the motion could leave it open and
Leave
you
it
could
open
decide?
and at least we're identified, we have 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Does that work? And we can get that, we can get that cleared up before the end of the week?
Tentatively made already.
Okay.
For 3 attendees.
Okay, so you can, yeah, we'll get confirmations that it fits on both of their schedules, and I'll check. Okay, all right, thank you very much. So
I think
call the
we
question
need-
then for 3,
Was there a
you're
motion?
squinching.
Was there a motion? Sorry.
Oh, you didn't, are you motioning? You said.
I will make the motion. I didn't think I had yet, but I'll make the motion that we authorize 3 members of council to attend AVICC, potentially myself, Councillor Chong, and the mayor.
Seconder, please. Second. All those in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. Bylaws, we are at section number 8, 8.1, bylaw number 1606 for final reading on Colwood Land Use Bylaw number 151, 1989, amendment number 150 for Royal Bay CD 1A and Royal Bay CD 3A. Who wants to be the seconder?
Okay, I'll second it. I second everything.
All those in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. Bylaw number 1581 for first, second, and third readings on Colwood Main Sewer Local Area Service Bylaw, Establishment and Loan Authorization Bylaw number 598, 2001, Amendment number 32.
Second.
All those in favor? Opposed? Motion carries.
Second.
Discussion, anyone? All those in favor? Opposed? Motion carried.
Move third.
Second.
All those in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. Bylaw number 8.3, please. Bylaw number 1582, again for first, second, and third readings on Colwood West Sewer Local Area Service and Establishment Loan Authorization Bylaw number 625, Amendment number 36.
Move introduction.
Second.
All those in favor? Opposed? Motion carried.
Second. Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? Motion carried.
Move third.
Second. Third.
All those in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. Bylaw, or 8.4, bylaw number 1609, first, second, and third readings, again, Colwood Main Sewer Local Area Service Bylaw and Establishment, bylaw number 598, 2001, amendment number 38.
Move introduction.
Second.
All those in favor? Opposed? Motion carried.
Second.
Can you be a little more down on that? Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? Motion carried.
Second.
All those in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. Bylaw number, final item on our agenda this evening, 8.5, bylaw number 1610, again, first, second, and third readings for Colwood South Service, or Sewer Local Area Service Establishment and Loan Authorization number 602.
Move introduction.
Second.
All those in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. You think you'd know by now. Second.
I just want to make sure. I want to make sure everybody has a turn.
Yeah. Poor Terry hasn't had a chance.
You're just too quick.
I'm not saying. We haven't seconded it.
Not yet. Question, comments, all those in favor? All, motion carried.
Which one are we at?
Third.
Oh, move third.
Second, third.
All those in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. Thanks, folks. It concludes our meeting for this evening.
Move adjournment.
See you all in 2 weeks.